Good late afternoon, my fine people. For me, anyway. Not sure what it is for you guys. Just woke up from a nap a little bit ago. Felt good. So, we are going to smoke the Chimolly Dynasty series. I don't know where the Yoda part come from, but one thing they do have going for them is they have some beautiful bands. Is that enough light? Let's see. There we go. Oh, that's a little better, yeah. Gorgeous wrapper. So, as you guys know, the last one didn't start out very well for me, and then it got better, and then it turned out to be like the light up for me. So that one was just an okay one. Not to plug anything because I didn't get it doesn't help me once whatsoever, which I'm not into this for any money because it's tobacco and we don't get any money for it. It's passion. But this I don't even know how to say it. Lighten cutter. It's a 3-in-1. This thing has been a champ. Got on the old Amazon. It's got the hole punch on the bottom, but it also has, which was cool, right here, a little draw tool. So I guess it's a 4-in-1. But anyway, this thing has cut a few hundred cigars probably at this point. Like no joke. You guys know I smoke like, especially in the truck, 5 to 7 cigars a day, and I've had this for uh, about 3 months now. So that said, that's cut a lot of cigars, and it's thin. I like because it's all in one. I don't have to have multiple cutters in here in the truck on my little tray. But this thing is still sharp as day one. Okay, let's get back to cigar. Anyway, it was like $12, 12 to under $20. I know that for sure. I don't remember how much exactly, but it was cheap, and that thing is still cutting like a champ. I mean, look at that cut. I don't know if you guys can actually see it. Nice straight cut. It doesn't crack the cap or anything. So we're gonna try the soft flame in here again. I got my screens up today. Now, um, I didn't have them up earlier today when we smoked the first one, the Pangu or whatever it was called. Okay, work with me here. You still see what I'm doing? Kind of. If you can't see him, I will narrate. I'm toasting a cigar. Since I toasted the first one with a soft flame, I'm going to try to do it with this one and the next one, which is the Pioneer. Uh, just so I have the same smoking experience with all three. Can't breathe on the flame, otherwise it. Okay, this one is much thicker tobacco or something because it's not lighting the same way as the Pangu. I can't remember if it was called Pangu. I just keep saying Pangu. The first one, the red labeled, red band. Just burnt those, put a hole in those shorts. Mm. No, I don't want to say anything yet, but so yeah, the red band one is the Pangu. This one is the Dynasty, and then the next one we'll be smoking is the Pioneer. So this one is Ecuadorian Corojo for the wrapper, Mexican San Andreas binder, Nicaraguan and Dominican filler. So the same filler, different binder, and different wrapper uh, than the Pangu that we smoked. It was just an okay cigar. I didn't care for it at first. After light up, so I guess as you get into the last part of the first third, and then getting the second third was actually a pretty good cigar. And then towards the end of the final third, it turned out to be like the first third, if that makes sense. A little bit more spice on the retro on this one at this point of light up. So far, that bitterness, that like green grass, nasty bitterness, is not there. That one also kind of had that, as people would say, brown paper bag. I like to call it kind of that cardboard. Uh, this does not have it at this point. This one already has a little bit of a floral note. Forgot to turn my fan. There we go. Help blow the smoke out. Has a little bit more of an earthy taste than the other one. Um, we gotta get our Instagram photo real quick. We'll get you guys in the background of that one too. Say cheese. A little more spice on the mouth. Not like hot spice, but kind of just tingly. A little bit more like the effect of cinnamon, but without the flavor. Just that kind of tingly spice. A little bit more on the back of the throat, the retro. But at startup, this is 100% better than the Pangu. And this is the Dynasty. So far I'm happy. It's not I'm not going to say it's a great cigar yet, but compared to the Pangu, if at this point of this cigar and this point of the Pangu, If I had to choose which one I wanted to smoke next, and I can only smoke one over the other, it would be this one at this point. And we're only that far in. Ooh, you do a retro like that, and it's got a little bit more of a bite to it. That was a little spicy there, and it's kind of lingering. The spice is kind of lingering like a white pepper, not a soft white pepper, just a regular old white pepper. Ooh, I wasn't expecting that. But then it's like smooth smoke finish at the same time, if that makes any sense. Which in my head it doesn't, but that's what it did. That little bit of a floral note already just from the beginning of this one is it's a nice touch. A little bit of a cedar, but not like the other one. That one hit pretty hard towards the end. Uh, Goodbye. He didn't pay his rent. Little spider. This one does seem like it is a thicker tobacco though. What was this one? Mexican San Andreas binder in the same filler, and the wrapper is the Corojo, Ecuadorian Corojo, versus the Ecuadorian Habano, and Nicaraguan binder, Nicaraguan. So same filler. I mean, same filler, Nicaraguan Dominican. But this Mexican San Andreas is on the binder, and the Corojo are a little bit better than the Ecuadorian Habano at this point. A little more spicy though, but like I said, I welcome that. Yes. Got a gooper in my eyeball still. Jeez, I already washed my face. Anyway, all right, we're gonna let this settle in. So far, this is a better smoke than the last one, and I'm enjoying this one. Gorgeous bands. I mean, just the artwork of the bands is gorgeous, you know. So, all right, we'll let this finish settle in, and we'll see what happens. All right, everybody, this is where we're at with this one. The flavors are staying the same. This is a much better smoke than the Pangu, in my opinion. So we are gonna take this band off. Let me get one more. Smile, say cheese. You guys are in the Instagram photo now. Um, at this point, this is the one I'd be picking up over the Pangu. This Dynasty is smoking really good, and it's got to have something to do with the Mexican San Andreas and the Corojo. Got a little bit of spice on the retro is staying there, depending on how big of a retro you do. If you do a small one, it's smooth and kind of has a cream finish to it, a creaminess. But if you do a big retro, it's gonna tingle the nostrils and almost work up into the sinus. And then I got the wife in this year. I'm talking to you guys in this year. I got the wife in this year, and she's trying to make me laugh. She said wasabi. Anyway, it's not quite like wasabi hit, but it lingers. It spices up on a big retro, and then it just kind of like lingers like a sparkler, a firework, you know. But that the finish on the palate has that floralness to it, a little bit of fruitiness to it, more floral than fruity, and it's just smooth. I mean, the spice is still a little bit there on the top of the tongue and on the back of the throat, but nothing like the retro. But it has a nice, smooth, almost creaminess to it at the very end. This is the This is quite a cigar compared to the other one. I'm quite enjoying this one. No bitterness whatsoever. There's a touch of cedar, but it's very far back on the palate. So anyway, that's the update, and we shall be back when if anything changes or when I get to that band. All right, guys. Alrighty, we're at the main band. You know, this is actually not a bad cigar. This one is decent. I'm quite enjoying this one over the other one. It's still not that like the greatest cigar, but it's pretty darn good. This ash is it's been kind of a loose ash, even though it feels like it's a thicker tobacco during the smoke in the light up. It's just it's not building a big ash. It's kind of a loose ash when it gets to a certain point, and it kind of has that split. But that said, this one versus the Pangu so far, this is really good. Definitely a better smoke. Down here towards the end, we're in the last part of it. There is kind of more of a cedar slash not bitter but bitter, if that makes sense. We got a fly in here. I'm gonna try to X-name. Yeah. Bye. Bye, Felicia. The retro's the same. The flavors are the same, except there is that hint of a little bit more of a woodsy bitterness. Not really quite cedar, but kind of a woodsy bitterness, which is fine. Um, there's no coffee or espresso or anything like that I got out of either one of these, which is weird because usually you get that in almost every cigar. And I'm just drinking water with these, and neither one had any coffee or espresso flavor whatsoever, which is unusual. It'd probably be good with some coffee, but wanted to try them with just water. You know, usually I'm drinking coffee, but we had a lot of coffee already today. It's time to do a water flush. Definitely a much better smoke. If could only choose between this one and the other one so far at this point, we don't know. We haven't tried the Dynasty yet. But or I mean, the Pioneer out of the Dynasty, which is this one, and the what was it called? The Pangu. This is the one to pick up and smoke. Mm. All right, I'm not gonna puff it too hard because we're at the end and I don't want to get it hot. That'll really bring out a bitterness. Any cigar really. So anyway, we're gonna slowly puff on this, and I'll come back here shortly, and we'll finish this one out. Alrighty, this Dynasty was a pretty good smoke. I actually enjoyed this one from start to finish. Not bad, not bad. Be interested to see if the next one I smoke of this one, we'll wait a couple months and we'll try this one again also. See if it is the same, worse, or better. But out of the two so far, this is the one. This is the one to smoke. Unless you like bitter, then try the Pangu. But the Dynasty was a good one. Um, it's not a great cigar, but it's a good cigar. It's definitely worth trying. Definitely worth smoking. And it's different. It's a different kind of take on a cigar than our usual. Just weird. neither one of them had any coffee or espresso or chocolate or anything like that in them that most cigars have. So that was interesting that these didn't have that. But the Dynasty was a good smoke. As usual, thanks for tuning in, smoking a cigar with me. As always, try different sticks, and you know it. Always keep it smoky, my friends.